Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Info. My name is Isaac Franks. I'm going to give you the info. For today's The Info, this info that I'm going to be giving you is all of the info that you would ever need about Illuminate Student Ministries. And it's good. Got some good stuff. So I want to let you know about what's happening next week, and then what's happening at the end of summer, and then what's not happening because of something else. You follow that? Well, I'll explain a little more. Thank you for joining me, and I'm going to quickly go through this week's announcements. So, next week's big event, because if you remember, and I'm going to say this every single week of the summer, every week this summer is big at Illuminate Student Ministries. This week was the Freedom Night, and so we were supposed to be outside. I don't actually know if we were outside, because this is way before. But next week is super important that you know what's happening next week, because next week are water events. And so this is important for you to know, because if we're going to do water events and water games outside, you'll probably want to bring some extra clothing so that we can get cleaned up and not be soaking wet the whole night. And another advantage to this is that when you leave and you're in your parents' car, they don't get upset at me. So that's always a plus for me. Maybe for you, but mainly for me. So I want to talk just very briefly about the final tribal, which is August 14th. This is at the end of the summer. Next week, I want to get a group of you students, together at the beginning of the night to talk about it. I've taken my own notes, and I've kind of looked at what the final tribal could be based on all of my experience leading it, like making it and leading it. But I want your thoughts too. Next Wednesday, before the gathering, probably around 6, I would say, we'll meet by the stage, and I want to just have an open dialogue with you as to what things you think goes well when we have these big events, and what things don't, and that I'm not seeing, and that I need to see immediately. So that's next week, 6 o'clock, right before youth group. Last thing that I want to inform you, a live festival. If you notice, I've not said anything about a live fest this year. Well, that's because we're not going. But that doesn't mean that we're not doing anything. We're replacing the Alive Fest with something that's happening in the fall. I can already tell you that we're going to be doing a winter retreat, and this is going to be the biggest retreat that we've ever done. And it's going to be insane. It's going to be pretty cool. We are going to be sleeping. Because we're not doing the Alive Festival, I really wanted us to do a fall retreat. Now this fall retreat is a lot different from our winter retreat, because our fall retreat is a lot more low-key. We're going to have a lot of fun, we're going to have some games and a lot of participation and activities and stuff like that. But this is more serious. We're calling it more of like a leaders. So any student, whether you're going into 6th grade or you're going into 12th grade, any student that is interested in learning more about leadership, how can you become more of a leader and how can you grow those traits, you should come to this retreat. So while it's a little more low-key, we're going to Camp Luz, and it's outside, it's going to be fall, it's going to be beautiful, it's going to be calm, low-key, and a lot of fun. And I'm excited. We've never done this before, and so I think it's going to be really cool. So I just want to tell you that that's happening, and to be looking forward to that coming up closer to fall, but also that because we're doing that, we're not going to a live festival this year. Thank you so much for watching, whether you're in person and I'm making you watch, or if you're on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. We are going to go ahead, if you're in the room, to our next thing, which is some instructions by me. So I guess we're just going to go into it. We're going to have a fun night. Hopefully it's going to be more low-key and campfire-esque, even though it's probably raining. So thank you so much for watching. We are going to see you next week, hopefully in person, if not on the info. Bye-bye.
What a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.